Alrighty. Let me put the music down a bit. I think that's a better... Let me know if it's still too loud. Here we go. Hello, guys. So, time for a coloring stream today. After I got my setup and everything right here with my mic. So, where's the chat? There we are. Yeah, as I already announced not last week, I think even the week before, in a couple of days, I wanted to finish this artwork you see on the left on stream as well. By the way, I'm drinking Spezi. Spezi, I don't know. Who knows what a Spezi is? So no beer for me, not yet. Not on a Monday afternoon. I think Spezi is very German. I don't know if anyone knows what it is, but Paper Legend, you know. Okay, great. Well, for those who do not know, it's a mix of cola and orange lemonade, like Fanta, for example. It's usually 50-50, and it comes with very like different names and brands, but I think originally it's from Bavaria, and it's appreciated by people who do not drink beer in Bavaria, so they get a Spezi quite often. So yeah, Martinez, thanks very much. Yeah, that's the Crash Bandicoot mask, right? It's kind of a tribute artwork for the PlayStation 1, and I picked some references. For example, here's the mask, and then we have Lara Croft here on the photo. And on the other side, she's like more happy and some little hearts. And then we have the key from Kingdom Hearts. And also you see the discs. And yeah, today I'm going to color this one. And I already... Yeah, good memories indeed. I got the Crash Bandicoot kind of remake collection some years ago. I think they released it on PlayStation 4, I think. But I never really played it a lot, like just a bit, because somehow, I don't know, I missed the kind of old school feeling when I was a kid. I didn't have a PlayStation 1 myself. The first PlayStation I personally had was PlayStation 2. But I had friends with PlayStation, so my parents only could afford one console, so it was N64 for us. But yeah, great games. It always, not from the gameplay, but the general like the character and everything, it reminded me a bit of Banjo-Kazooie. Just have to restart Procreate once again, as always, because of that animal. I think Banjo. Is it Tasmanian Devil as well? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's very, I love the taste. This one is the zero, the zero one. Yeah, there we go. So it's no sugar. It doesn't taste as good as the sugared one, but I don't want to destroy my sugar level today. So yeah, it's this is once again, as always, not working. But I love the taste. I mean, you can just go to the market and get a Coke and Fanta, and just mix it half and half, and you'll see what it tastes like. It's basically the standard recipe, but of course the Spezi. There we go. The Spezi that is made by, for example, this one here is made by a brewery, so they produce beer. And of course, they don't use Coca-Cola or Fanta, but they have their own lemonade they use, and it's a little, it tastes a little different. And there's like, I don't know, probably 50 brands in Germany selling it with their own recipe, and every recipe or every brand tastes a little different. My favorite is this one here. Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, I played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Is the last part, right on PS5, and I loved it. It's so nice. It's so busy. The characters are great. Storytelling is great. Really nice games. So for the colors here, this is the Queen of Hearts from the Hearts season, and as you see, it has some gradients here in these areas. Sorry, once again. In these areas here, in these ink blots, and has a nice red, pink, purple, some yellow palette. And for the clubs, I'm going more for a bluish purple and some like of this kind of dirty pink, maybe in the middle of, like, maybe here in the middle area between purple and red. And my task basically is now to translate this palette from this card here, which was the first, which is kind of the prototype for the color palette. So I want to translate this palette into this Jack of Clubs palette, and at the same time, that's why I say translate. I mean, this one is quite simple. It only has 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 different main colors with the red of the rupees, but it's pretty straightforward, and I want to maybe give the court cards, like the Jack now, a little bit more variation, some in between colors probably. And yeah, that's the goal for today. So first, the easy part is the club sign is always like this, and the index symbol, and I think I'm going to start from the middle and just color the PlayStation, which of course has this iconic gray. They released the special, what is that, 30 years special edition with the PS5 and the original gray. I don't think it looks very nice, but it doesn't look nice because of the, in my opinion, really ugly design of the PS5. So I think you can put any color you want on that, and it still looks shit, in my opinion. But I love the DualSense controller. We have one here. It's loading. And I love the gray one, and unfortunately I don't need a new one, but I would really love to get one of the classic gray DualSense gamepads. But yeah, the classic gray, sure. I mean, I think they only produced like 12,000 of them, and I'm not sure if the sale already happened, but I'm pretty sure it will sell pretty quick. So the tricky part is here that, of course, this is supposed to resemble the PS1, and I don't want to change the original color too much, but it has to fit to the palette. So I can't, basically, the original color would be something like maybe like this, like so. It doesn't go well with the palette, so I'm trying to find a blue color that matches the palette, and that's still, yeah, well, it's still on brand. I may change it a couple times later on anyway, but I just want to find kind of a base color now. Let's go with this for now. And the second tricky part is that everything is gray on this kind of, so the plugs are gray, the cables are basically pretty much gray. So we'll see how I can get some nice contrast in there without coloring it all the same. Yo, Dominic. Pew pew pew. Right, this guy here with his light guns. Something I found quite funny is that if you look how the size of the pistols of these light like laser guns or whatever, and then the cables coming out of it, like this one here, is a little there's a little difference. I'd like to draw like these chunky cables that almost look like like a hose, a water hose. And well, it looks a little funny, but I think it's still fine. So we have that. We have those CDs. I think I'm going to color them next because they kind of give us a background. And I may want to add a gradient to these as well later on. In case you're wondering about the brush I'm using, this is just a flat round, super basic, super boring brush because it doesn't matter if it has a texture or not, or actually it's good that it doesn't have any texture because it would distract from just pulling out the shapes here. Did I miss one? I think one is missing somehow. No, it's not. Okay, cool. Yeah. So to check the color of the mask. The Aku. Okay. I think there's a stroke missing. Here. And here as well. That's a Lara Croft portrait, Martinez. So Lara Croft is one of the classic PlayStation characters, like something that I personally connect very much to PlayStation, and the especially the first PlayStation 1, and kind of, I mean, the funny thing about her is her anatomy, because I think that's kind of coming up in memes and all kinds of cosplays and then stories about the development of graphics in video gaming, is the how the anatomy of Lara Croft has changed over the years. Especially her boobs. As these looked quite funny in the first Tomb Raider game. Polygon chest, yes. Yeah, you can just Google Lara Croft or Tomb Raider 1 or something. Oh yeah, the Croft Mansion, right. I remember that as well. I remember back in the days, whenever a game had an area that you could just run around in. I mean, they weren't so... I mean, was open world gaming even a thing back then? I'm not sure if there were any open world games. Probably not. So I remember whenever I had a game like Super Mario with the castle, and also even in Mario Kart, the castle track where you could just drive around a bit, which wasn't really possible on most tracks. I think you could like take a wrong turn and then drive around at the castle, if I'm remembering that right. And so we spent a ridiculous amount of time just going around these areas, because it was it felt special to roam around somewhere. Something that is very common in games nowadays, because we have all those open world games, and even GTA had a very small area in the end back then. I remember the crazy shock GTA 3 gave us when it came out, like, and you could just go around in a whole city. I think that was the first game of this type that I played, and you could just, it felt like whole New York City in today's video game world sizes, it's still pretty small, I think, but it was crazy to jump in a car and drive around in an open area. Yeah, exactly. Little Easter eggs. Definitely special. I mean, it's so cool how you could be, yeah, how not easily, because it was a tough task for the developers back then. So it wasn't easy entertainment, but it was the feeling of being overwhelmed by this kind of stuff was so special. So I don't know if people still have that today. I think they have, because it's there's still crazy developments going on in gaming, but back then, this special feeling of being totally blasted away by something is that was really cool. I don't know when I had that the last time. I'm not sure. I mean, I played lots of great games lately, but like such a surprise in terms of the technical presentation or something, I'm not sure. Actually, I think with Baldur's Gate 3, I had that because I felt it felt incredible how they included this system of actions and the world reacting to your actions and decisions. And I sometimes just was like really surprised, like, this is the result of my decision. Like, is this a coincidence, or is the game actually reacting to my way of playing this game so much? And indeed it did react. So that was really fantastic, to be honest. Still have to play it through. Yeah, Skate, really. Yeah, Skate was nice. I think they wanted to release a new version at some point, right? But it somehow never happened. So I think I read about it a while ago, and I'd love to play maybe even a remake. It wouldn't even need a completely new game. I would definitely play a remake as well. Yeah, that was cool. Hey, those pans are wild. What's your hair color, Dominic, right? Wait, maybe more like this. Yo, Davey, how's it going? The vacation with Dominic, you mean? Yeah, we had a great time. Been quite productive as well. I mean, for me, it wasn't a vacation because I was at home. It was just Dominic who visited me at my home. So technically, it was Dominic's vacation here at my place. But yeah, it was great. Yeah, their trick system was really cool. It felt like they experimented with building something like that, and sometimes I think it like these experiments worked surprisingly well. I mean, if it was an experiment, but it felt like they just wanted to try something different in terms of not doing any kind of button mashing, and it somehow worked. But also it was sometimes really difficult, right? Yeah, the book looks really great. So we're still waiting for a couple artists to finish. I mean, some told us they were having a vacation and that they will deliver their pages a little bit later, and some are just a little bit slower. So I really hope that everything will be there soon. And we have to do some marketing because I mean, with Kickstarter, the first day of the campaign is always by far the most important, because you really need to, you basically need to hit the goal in the first 24 hours, and ideally get as much backers in as possible to make it a success and to gain some momentum. And I think we still have to do some work on getting eyes on the book, and it feels like it's tough to sell products at the moment. I don't know how you feel about that, how your latest print releases went, but I feel like right now people are definitely holding their money together a little, which is understandable. And so I think for like a successful funding of such an indie project, it's just we may add 2 weeks or so to the schedule just to be active on socials and maybe send around a newsletter on top, etc. But it's not meant to be easy. I mean, it's just releasing indie projects is just lots of work, so it's fine. But the quality of the book will be fantastic. It's really looking so great what everyone has been sending us. I'm honestly surprised. I knew that we had great artists, so it's not that I'm surprised that these artists like you, Davey, or everyone else is like delivering great work, but I am surprised that everyone really gave their best and not just some quick work, you know. Yeah, I would really love to play Skate again, a remake. I hope they do it. I also got the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake a while ago, but honestly, I think playing it now, I mean, I had lots of fun with especially revisiting the levels. Of course, the soundtrack is just really cool. I love the skate punk stuff they have in there. Still funny that I still listen to lots of the bands that appear in the game. But so many years after playing it, I realized how simple the gameplay actually is. So it's really pretty basic. and I think there is a market for a Skate 2 or a remake of the first one. But maybe EA is too much focused too much on making money with ripping off teenagers in EA FC or whatever kind of money printer tactics they have. Yes, good old Lara. Hope you're good, Jakob. Nice to see you in the chat. I wonder how many young gamers' first crush Lara Croft was. I think they were pretty quickly. There were nice fan art portraying her in a very sexy way. So I remember looking at those and being aroused. Oh yeah, the demo, right? I think I stole the demo in a store, so I didn't have money to buy the disc that came with a magazine or something. Maybe it was a different game, but I think it was Tony Hawk. So I stole the game from a supermarket. I'm sorry for that today. I apologize to the market that I stole something, but I was poor. Yeah, we've been talking about the Croft Mansion before and how you could run around there and harassing the butler. Okay, so I think the color palette is coming together nicely. Let me compare it to this one. I think pretty much on palette here. So ja, Anzeige ist raus. Für ein 10 Mark. War das noch D-Mark? Ja, kann sein, ne? Ein 10 D-Mark Magazin oder so. I didn't steal the magazine, I only stole the disc. I mean, that doesn't make it any better, but my defense. I wasn't really interested in the magazine. There was probably some boring report about The Sims or so. Yeah, Venice was great. I love that mission. I think Venice is always a great video game level location. I think there was also a Hitman level in Venice, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure right now, but Maybe it was Hitman, maybe it was a different game, maybe it was even Uncharted or something more modern. But I remember running over the balconies in another game as well. So I'm going to add some gradient to the discs. See how that works. I'm just selecting all the areas with the darker blue. And then I have a new layer here, and then I can take this airbrush and go like that. Yeah, right. Okay. I think the contrast between the chair and the character isn't ideal, so I want to change that a bit. I don't know how. Jakob, are you working on something exciting at the moment? Something cool, or something cool coming out of your printer at the moment? Oh, it's not too bad. I'm going to copy the frame. From here. If the client isn't too annoying or something, then it's all right. in my opinion. Give me a second. Where do I have the correct frame? Please shut your eyes because I didn't reveal this one yet, but well, this is the three of clubs. It's not 100% finished yet. But I can't find the frame. Oh, so cool, you're doing an exhibition. I've been thinking about doing more physical, real world things soon. So I really wanted to visit some conventions, maybe with a booth, but also maybe hosting an exhibition or something. I'm not sure. I'm so tired of social media. I mean, everyone is kind of. It's not that I'm alone with that at all. But lately, it's been just annoying. I can't stand seeing all that AI crap in my feed, and everyone is complaining. I mean, I'm doing really fine. I can't complain at all about my workloads. I still have lots of requests from clients and everything. It's going totally fine. So I'm good on that end. But I see on very, very many people on social media, like artists, complaining about not getting jobs and being frustrated with their work. I think it's often beginners, but not only. And I kind of feel like it would be good to get in touch with people in real life more, but I'm not sure how to pull it off. Maybe I just need to start somewhere and see where it goes. But of course, you have to see like how much money you want to invest in something like that. Can't find the fucking frame. I had a color defined for this frame, just to explain, like this here. But it's gone. And where is it? Okay, I have to just pick anything right now and just maybe change it later on. So yeah, it's been a bit, like I said, I don't want to complain. It's not like frustrating or something, but it's going a bit on my nerves. Not the complaining artist, of course. I mean, it's fine to articulate if something bugs you and to get in touch with people online, but it's a bit of a trend right now. I'm a lot on threads lately because, I mean, Elon world is just sucks. Mostly, not everything there, but mostly. And threads is really a cool alternative right now. But it seems to be very, very popular there to try to get engagement by complaining about your situation, etc. So yeah, that's where this comes from. This is a nice gradient, but the contrast isn't too good. Maybe it will level out later when I add the shadows. So I'm going to just put that here for now and come back later. First is coloring everything. Oh, that sounds great. I mean, if your client is like understanding and supporting what you do, it's fantastic. It's definitely not given as well. There's lots of clients who can't give you clear instructions and clear feedback, and then they're kind of unhappy with what you do, and sometimes it's a mess. So that's glad to hear that. Yeah, maybe you just need to do it, you know. I mean, if you don't start, not going to happen. That's definitely a part of my mindset when it comes to digital projects. Like, for example, last year my book release, I've been dreaming about doing a Kickstarter project for such a long time, and always thinking like, what could I do? Is this the right product? Is this the right time? Are people actually buying this kind of stuff right now? So you're constantly thinking about what works and what not, and in the end you just have to try it, and try it on a small scale first, for sure. And that's the thing with exhibitions, where I have like a huge respect for, because with exhibitions I think there's like a, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's like a minimum size this thing has to have, and you need a room, for example, and that room has a certain rent you have to pay and stuff like that. It's the same with starting a studio or renting an office. You can start with a co-working space or anything, but if you want something for yourself, you're always, with like insurances and everything, you're always starting with at least a couple €100 a month. And I feel like with a Kickstarter you can maybe start making a simple print project. You're not investing much, you don't have to do crazy marketing. So that's why I'm like unsure about doing that. But these are just assumptions, because I didn't try and I didn't ask for pricings for spaces. So maybe I'm wrong and you can pull something off and maybe skip the catering and let people bring their own drinks or something. I don't know. So you have lots of, or the big part of the requests you get are not turning into projects. Is that the problem? That ratio is actually okay for me. This year it's been a bit worse because I had 2 or 3 really big requests, and one of them by a client that already worked with me, and I was pretty sure to get that if they request me. So I'm like, if they know who I am, they know the way I work. So if they request me, they will probably they will probably give it a go. But then they told me that they found someone else for the project, which was a big budget of, I don't know, that was, I think, like 20k, 25k that I planned with, and that I also planned with in a way that I told other clients that I wouldn't be available for that period. And then that was really a bummer, because especially if you reserve time and then it's called off, that sucks, but there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, that sounds cool. Maybe I should network more here in the city, so I get to know people who have space for this kind of stuff. Because I'm not, that comes on top. Unfortunately, I'm not a really good local networker. And I don't know so many people in the creative business here in Münster. Yeah, I mean, these phases or these periods without requests are, of course, that's something you always have to battle as a freelancer. I think it's totally normal that it happens. But it is difficult if you're really looking for work and your inbox is super silent. Yeah, that indeed sucks quite well. Not quite well, but quite a lot. I think I have to run and get something to eat because I'm super hungry right now. I'm not sure why my lunch isn't holding up, but I did a 45-kilometer bike ride this morning, and I feel like I'm missing some calories. So I'm just quickly. I'm going to keep up the stream, but just getting maybe I'm going to make myself a bread, and I'll come back. I never had any food on stream so far, and whenever I see it with other streamers, I'm like, dude, why don't you eat or you stream? But no, yeah, I'm in the same situation. All right, give me a minute. I'll come back with food. Right, thanks for your patience. Okay. Well, it doesn't feel too wrong to eat in front of you. I really like how the palette is coming together. I wasn't sure about, or I wasn't sure if the palette is suitable for a more complex piece compared to the Two of Hearts, which Two of Clubs, which is pretty basic. But I think it's working nicely. Jo, danke Davy. Thanks, Finchi. Glad you like it. Or if you meant the bread, yeah, it was tasty. I have another one with peanut butter. Can be both, yeah. Great. Okay, fueled again. Nice. I watched Severance last week. Did any one of you guys see it? I loved everything about it very much. The style and the music and the story, of course, was really good. And the good news is that the second season is going to be released pretty soon, I think, like in January or so, February. Yeah, I think I'm just a bit shy about going out and meeting people. But the ones I knew or know from uni, most of them are not in Münster anymore, so they moved away. And I feel like lots of the art spaces here are very, how should I say, they're pretty artsy, you know? So there's I think they're very far away from commercial illustration and the stuff I do. I mean, an exhibition doesn't have to, or would most likely not be about commercial illustration, but I think you probably get what I mean. It's I don't know, different kinds of creatives, but I could do them wrong. It's really, once again, it's just what the vibes I'm getting whenever I visit their exhibitions or their spaces, and etc. It's often people who studied here at the art academy, and they do really real like art, like traditional sculpturing and stuff like that, modern art. Okay, maybe in Hamburg. I think in Hamburg there's more going on for sure as well. But there's stuff happening here, so maybe I should just give it a shot. I know that I can be pretty, so you know, I can be a little bit different as well. So I feel like sometimes they don't really understand my perspectives that good or that well. So I'm not like a crazy business person who always has to talk about numbers and sales and etc. But I'm always interested in how are people's sales going, what's your strategy, what's your channels and your audience, etc. And I feel like these people are often a bit irritated by that, because they are not really focused on the wrong layer. They're not really focused on the monetary side of art that much, which is great for them, but it's not how I personally work. My opinion is that if you're an artist, it would be good to pay your bills and not be supported too much by any funds or you know, there's these governmental art support things. I'm not sure. So I think maybe you have to do a sale every now and then to support yourself. Now the wrong people are listening now. I'm making myself very, very unpopular, but it's just my opinion. Even though, by the way, I find cultural support, monetary support, very important and very good. Looks like I colored it all. No, there's something. Chair stand. Right. Grabbing the outline color here because it's the outlines are very dark blue, purple blue. Like that. Now I want to give some of the outlines a little different color. See how that looks. Like the crate here, a little dark red instead of the dark blue. It makes a very subtle difference, but I did the same for the other court cards, like the heart, queen, jack, queen, king of hearts. And I think it's a nice additional touch. Yeah, I should come and check it out. I mean, I only know those creative conventions from the Web3 space so far. So from NFT Paris and from NFC Lisbon, and it's always really it's just incredible meeting all the people and really nice. Oh, interesting. I always know lots of the speakers there whenever I check out the lineup. Usually I just in the last years I always took a quick peek at the lineups, and they have lots of illustrators and visual artists in there, so I feel like there's always been a at least partly a focus on artists. Yeah. So what else can I color differently? Oh, are you going to have a talk there? That's nice. When is the next edition? It's always in April or so. Yeah, maybe I should. Do you get speaker special priced tickets? If so, please let me know. Maybe I'll. Maybe you can invite me and finally get my ass over to Barcelona. I mean, I've been in Barcelona, but not that off. You already had another talk this year, right? I think I remember something you posted on Instagram. Nice. Okay, cool. I think Steffi Fung had some speaker special prize things. If I remember right, she had a talk there this year. I'm not sure right now if it was off or if it was a different event, but I think it was off. She's also really active in that area, so in general, I think she's doing really nice, getting herself out there and kind of creating a brand around her with her streams, and she's also been quite successful on YouTube lately. So yeah. Oh, cool, Manchester. Alrighty. I get that the overall vibe on these events is a completely different thing compared to online, because I know that from the Web3 events, I mean, there's lots of weird positivity going on as well that you can't always really take serious, but still in general, if online everyone is complaining about shit and you go to these events and everyone is like, let's have a good time, let's network and let's party, it really leaves a positive impression on you, in my opinion. And you always come home from these events like, okay, I'm more like inspired, and and positive and looking forward to what's about to come instead of hating everything and being afraid and being insecure and everything. So yeah, that's definitely, I'm pretty sure that you had the same or a similar impression from events like Off. Okay, that's probably a little bit too bright here on the I don't want to say the name of the mouse because I don't want to get sued. It's just a pin resembling some mouse. Oh, that's key. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to do the same here, and then I think I'm going to move on to shading. Shading. Hey Michael, how's it going? Yeah, you're late, but no worries, I'm still on it. And you can rewatch if you want. I mean, that's of course always possible. Yeah, that sounds great. With getting some motivation. My motivation, inspiration is, to me, it's pretty similar sometimes because if I feel inspired by something, I also have this special feeling of motivation of creating something and getting things done. And so I think there's not a huge difference between these two. Okay, shades. So I have this shadow color. It's just a flat colored layer of the same shadow color I'm using for the whole series. And I'm using a clipping mask and the layer set to multiply, so I guarantee that the shadow color is really always the same everywhere. And the light is, for the whole cards, is always coming from the right. So the tricky part is to not get confused by flipping the card like this. So from here, the shadow is coming, the light is coming from the left because I flipped it vertically. And I need to keep that in mind. Maybe the trick would even be to always keep it like this and to add the shades like this, for example. But I find this very confusing somehow to get it right because it's all on the head. Kind of difficult to do this with a character, for example. And my pencil is behaving in a weird way again. It's weird. I think it's... I mean, I'm drawing for little bit less than 1.5 hours, including the 10 minutes before it started working. Maybe it gets worse over time or so, but I didn't have any issues in the beginning, but now it's getting worse. Or it's when using a different brush, but I had the same, like this. I'm drawing right now and it doesn't do a thing. Look, there it is again. But I don't want to complain. I did that last time. But if you want to buy a new iPad, just get a used 2021 or 2022 model, because the 2024 is not worth the big amount of money it costs, in my opinion. Maybe I should do a review on YouTube. I'm sure it gets lots of views because people are looking for this kind of content. I also have a review video for comparing two tablets, the Huion and the Wacom 22, 20, like the same sized graphic tablets or drawing tablets, and it's my most clicked YouTube video now. Yeah, the pen is the Apple Pencil Pro. I had the regular Apple Pencil before, and but it isn't compatible with the new iPad anymore. It's one more reason why I wouldn't recommend the new model if you already have the old one. The only thing I really love about this Pencil Pro, I don't know if it's worth the extra money, but I really love the function and I'm using it a lot, is that you can switch between two functions by pressing the pencil. So, and I have it set to brush and eraser, so I just push on the pencil and I can change it all the time, which is really nice. It saves like a millisecond of moving your hand up and selecting the tool, but I think it probably adds up on the long run. If you have half a second of changing time, dozens of time each day, yeah, a couple minutes of your life. And the brush I'm using, by the way, is called John Creese, and it's included in my plastic brush pack. I think for the Queen of Clubs, so I want to give every card one kind of classic console. And I think for the Queen, I may do the GameCube. Because it's so nice and boxy, so you can put it in the middle. And also maybe I want to add a gamepad, because I love the design of the GameCube gamepad. It looks so extremely non-ergonomic. it looks really wrong, but it's kind of unique. I had a GameCube. I bought it. Bought a used one many years after the release, just to play Zelda Wind Waker. But apart from that, I think I never played another game on the GameCube. So I don't have big personal history, but I just love the design. Kickstarter reached out to you. That's interesting. Setting up a campaign can be super easy. It can be very simple, and it should be simple to a certain point, because it's important that you can scroll the page and without getting lost, and providing too much information for potential backers is also not really ideal. But it really depends on how much you want to customize your page. So you can, for example, create personal custom headers for the different chapters on your page, or you just use the headlines that you can from the editor. So that's one example. And it took me some time when I set up my first campaign last year for the coloring book. It took me some time to come up with the right rewards and perks. So that's the kind of stuff people get for the money, right? And obviously when you make a book, it's very clear that the book is one reward, and then you start thinking, okay, oh, I could do prints, and oh nice, I could add a pack of postcards, and I could make t-shirts, and I could invite guest artists to make an illustration that I could sell as a print as well, and whatever. And they made it a bit easier lately, because they introduced some kind of add-on feature where you don't have to create different sets or different combinations, but you can probably do the book, and then people can add on extra prints, extra stickers, etc. And from my experience, people use that as well. So I had people make use of that for my campaign, where I offered extra prints, for example. So that's kind of cool, but you still have to come up with all that stuff, right? But if you want, you can keep it simple and say, okay, I have a toy, or I have a set of toys, and you can, for example, go with stretch goals. That is when you reach your goal and you kind of offer extra things to your backers. So what you could do, for example, is start with one toy and say, if we reach 1,000 euros, I'm going to add another toy that you can select afterwards. And people can get them both, or just one and select which one they want to have later on. So that's all the stuff you need to figure out. But it's okay. You can really, you don't need to invest like crazy crazy amount of time into this. And I find it fun, to be honest. I think it's really cool coming up with the rewards and figuring out how to present everything and how to make it clear what you're doing there, like explaining your project. Yeah. If you want, we can make a call or something, and I can explain a little bit more what you need to put attention to, and etc. But yeah, no problem to give you some advice. I think for my first campaign, I really invested too much time. I feel like I could have done a couple of things easier, but then in the end, the campaign was really successful. So, I mean, maybe it was worth the time. But for example, the fact that I did 2 different book versions, a collector's edition and the standard edition, maybe that was a bit too much as well, but the collector's edition was pretty popular. So, I mean, yeah, it's always a matter of calculation and pricing and everything, and what makes sense and whatnot. Yeah, the video thing that's really a mystery to me. So I see lots of campaigns who have the video, but have a really basic one. So they just basically it's a slideshow that is a video, you know. Then I see campaigns that do really well, that have a crazily produced one, but that goes mostly for big startups who already have like a big funding and they can afford to produce something like that. And honestly, I feel like if you have a great product and if you have a good presentation, I think the video doesn't play such a huge role, but I still would add at least a simple one just to have it, because Kickstarter likes the fact that Kickstarter supports videos for projects, and I feel like they may be more inclined to give you the featured like recommendation thing. They have this thing called what's it called? They have like this badge of approval on their page where they recommend certain projects, and that's really you really want to get that, and I think the chances are higher if you have a video. So I would just go with a super simple one if you don't want to invest time and effort into something crazier. So I would probably just really do a slideshow thing and add a bit of spoken words through voiceover, and that's it. I think more isn't really necessary. For my campaign, I just filmed myself here working, and I spoke to the camera, I think like a minute or so, saying, "Hi, this is Stefan. I'd like to introduce my project to you." So I could basically just let the camera run right now, and I would have that material. And then I added just some mock-ups and shots from the project, and that's it. And it worked as well, and wasn't too much. I didn't have to invest lots of time, you know. I've also been following a project by Derek Laufman. I don't know if you know him. He's a comic illustrator, and I've been backing his latest campaign as well. And he, for example, just had think he didn't show himself in the video. He basically had moving screenshots or moving crops from the comic explaining what the story was all about, and that's it. So yeah, very simple. Yo, Dri, how's it going? Hope you're good. Yes, having a good product is definitely important. And what's also really important is to have, on release day, to have like a certain amount of backers. Because the first day, the release day, is the most important one, and how a project goes on the first day will most likely, in most cases, will tell you where it will end. And if you struggle to get your backers on the first day, it's most likely not going to work. But I've seen projects like, for example, last year I had the pleasure to get in touch with Leap here, who's an illustrator as well, and he made a book on Kickstarter, and I found the book and I contacted him. I backed it as well, and I contacted him, telling him that I love the book and what his experience was with Kickstarter, and if he had some advice, because I saw that it wasn't his first campaign. And then his campaign was shared somewhere in a YouTube video or so by a fan, or just some guy who found his project and liked it and had a big audience, and he got like a huge boost. It was really great to see. So, and that was like the final days, I think the last week, where you usually do not get too many additional backers, but it's just like waiting for the campaign to end and maybe collect a buyer here and there. And I think he kind of doubled his campaign in the last couple of days. So yeah, pretty cool. I'll definitely release more projects through Kickstarter in the next year. So first is of course our book, the Mirror Dreams book, and then next year I'm definitely going to release these cards here through Kickstarter. So when the deck is done, I don't know when this will be. It could take a while, but I definitely want to have or see these as a Kickstarter project as well. And then I want, when the Curious Cabins are completely done, I may reach out to you actually, Jakob, because I want to make a book with all the cabins and maybe include my tutorial pages that I right now have as a ebook. That free ebook I'm giving out for everyone who subscribes to my newsletter. I want to include these pages as like a little tutorial or pages inside to my process. So these are 3 projects I want to release on Kickstarter in the next, I don't know, maybe in the next 1.5 years or so. So yeah, definitely got some plans there. And even if the campaign doesn't go as well as the coloring book, it's still it's still worth it because you get your stuff out there. If you calculate or if you do your homework, it's not you're not making any kind of, you're not creating any damage financially, because even if you collect only like the minimum amount you wanted to collect, it's still something you can get out to people. And even if it's like 100 books or so in the end, it's a product you have and that you can take with you, that you can show to clients, that you can add to your portfolio, right? So I think that alone is worth it. Even if you maybe burn some time on it, that's of course always the possibility. I just wrote a Threads post yesterday about the beauty and the horror of your releasing indie projects on your own. I think I may put that into a newsletter article this week, because I find this aspect of freelancing so interesting, because you're constantly creating something. Of course, you can do something for clients, but if it's a personal project, you create something on your own and you put it out there, and you probably want to sell it at some point, and it's always a crazy black box you're publishing all this stuff into. And there's lots of people who do that and try to make a little side income or even a living from it. And I find it beautiful and a real horror at the same time, that you do never know what happens. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, this kind of aspect of releasing something, and it could be a huge success, it could be a total waste of time and money, but you only find out if you try, and if you do not try, it will always be nothing, right? But definitely not a success, you know. So yeah, it's not meant to be a pep talk or anything, but I have to remind myself of that every now and then, because I sometimes like struggle to see that if you don't try, you don't find out, and I want to find out. I think else you can probably not become a freelancer in this business if you don't have this I want to find out if it works mindset. Maybe I'll transcribe what I said and put it in a newsletter, and that's my new newsletter. Looks pretty complete to me. Thanks, Tree. Glad you like it. Okay, I think the final task is... some highlights. And then it's actually done. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have time to chill yet because after finishing this, I need to get back to working on a commission. I can't show you on stream though because it's I'm not allowed to share anything. But when I'm done with that, I'm going to definitely open a bottle. Yeah, definitely. Definitely a good plan. Okay, I think this is looking good. Yeah, let's keep it like that. And still need to find a frame color. I think this actually looks quite cool already. Yeah, works. Right, okay, cool. Thanks for giving me company while coloring this today. I hope you like the process. And yeah, I'll maybe back with another card soon. So of course I have the Queen and the King still to do, because this, if you did not realize, is a playing card project. And I may stream the process for another card soon as well. So see you then, maybe, if you like. And I wish you a great week, great start to the new week, and see you soon. Thanks, Finchy. Thanks for staying the whole stream through. Appreciate that. See you guys. Bye bye. Enjoy your Monday.